The Daren Streblow Comedy Show.
Find us at DarenStreblow.com. And on the phone, my good buddy, Bob Smiley, is on the phone, I believe. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, man? How's it going?
How you doing, man? It's been way too long. Happy New Year, belated. I know it's pretty far into the new year, but Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's a few days after, but I'll take it anytime Daren Streblow, I can talk to him. That's my New Year's resolution, to stay in a permanent pucker and kiss up to everybody. So far, so good.
That's beautiful. And so dignified. Such a dignified New Year's resolution. Good for you. It's been a while. What's been going on with you, man?
Oh my goodness, things have just taken off. This last year I had was crazy. I got married.
Congratulations. You are married.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Way to go.
And she had 2 kids, so I got 2 bonus kids. I found my Batman socks I was looking for. It's been a whirlwind.
Wow. The Batman socks is something I've been praying about since you mentioned it back in 2007. So I'm really glad. Do they still fit?
They still fit. Yeah, I had to, I had to work out a couple of weeks. I had to do ankles back to back, but I was able to get back to my shapely self. And
a
lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to change, but man, wife's amazing.
Has it been like a new adjustment for you? It must be. I mean, being married. I mean, just you going from the bachelor life now to having a wife. That's got to be a kind of a contrast for you.
Yeah, for a while I had, just my 3 kids, and then my oldest went to college, and so then it's just been me and my 2 kids, and there's so much adjustment. My 17-year-old came downstairs the other day, and he was like, "What is that smell in the bathroom?" And I went up there, and I was like, "Oh, that's called toilet cleaner." We're doing that now. Like,
you can clean that? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a huge adjustment for her, too, and her kids, because it's just been, her and her 2 kids, which, by the way, I really, I'm blessed. When I first met her, I don't know if everybody knows, but I met her online like you do. I met her on MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
It was awesome. Yeah, we were the only 2 left. It was perfect.
You found each other right away. Good for you. That's great.
Yeah, and so she was in my top 1, and we. But when I started talking to her, I'm actually embarrassed because I love her kids so much now. But when I was on the phone with her the first time, I said, "How many kids do you have?" And she said 2. And I actually was quiet. And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know if I want more kids," which I feel so embarrassed. But she said a beautiful thing. She said, 2 more kids is 2 more opportunities to love and be loved.
Oh.
And isn't that great? And then she was like, "How many kids do you have?" And I said 3, and we got disconnected really quick. But I was able to get her back on the phone, and but I mean, it has been great. But it has been adjustment. You ask a great question. We were having dinner one night, and she said, "All right, boys, I want you to do the dishes." And my kids got up and started gathering the dishes and heading to the pool, which is how we clean our dishes. And I was like, "No, boys, sink. We're gonna do that."
Is that what that's for? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and they're adjusting to her very well, and you're adjusting to her. Her kids, who are now your kids, and we're all just a big, happy Brady Bunch family.
Yeah. I actually asked her kids before I proposed, kind of get their blessing, and then I, proposed to her, which was nerve-wracking, waiting for that email response, and and then we were off and running. I mean, it was so great.
Mr. Style, asking in style. Did you get on your digital knee? How did that work? Good for you.
I do want to tell you about the wedding, though, because you've known me for years, right? Like, I'm super cheap. Like, on our first date, I didn't give her flowers. I brought her seeds. And
this is a patient woman, by the way.
It is a very, very patient woman, and she's very refined. And in fact, actually, this sounds like a joke, but it's not. But for the first 3 months, I thought she gave monthly to an orphanage in Germany, and then I found out what Nordstrom's was. And I was like, "Oh, you're not helping anybody." But here's why I bring it up, though, because our wedding was, like, people are always like, how do you know she's the one?
Uh-huh.
We were planning the wedding, and I mentioned to her that we could, anything that we saved on the wedding, we could put toward our house, because we're staying in the same house.
Very nice.
I've been in. Yeah, it's great. She did say, as long as all the past, memories were gone, she was fine moving in the house, which is sad because I had kids. But, you gotta.
Those three opportunities to love needed to be moved aside.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I said that any money that we saved on the wedding, we could actually use. And then all of a sudden, it was game on. I've never seen anybody out cheat me. I was like, we need wedding invitation. She was like, I already emailed everyone. I was like, what about a wedding cake? She was like, Betty Crocker got an invite. I was like, I said, are we going to have music? She was like, DJ Alexa just confirmed. We got married in Galveston, and it was outdoors, and I was like, what about seating? And she actually made it BYOC, bring your own chair. It was, oh my
Lawn
God.
chairs
And the best part,
for the Smiley wedding.
This part didn't happen, but she wanted to release doves, and so I asked her if we were still doing that, and she said, yeah, but I'm going to tell people to bring shotguns to take care of the meal. I was like,
this is a Texas bride, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't be alarmed. Texas bride.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I was so in love.
Well, I'm so glad you're happy and doing so well. I mean, you've had kind of a skip in your step ever since you've met her, and I'm just so happy for you. God's been very good to you. So
yeah, and it's been great for my boys, because I'm trying to raise men, like good, Christian men, and I'm trying to teach them to honor women. And so, in fact, one thing we've started is it's making the kids realize that women are just as amazing as men, and so we don't like coddle or we leave the toilet seat up. We are not sending a message that women are too dumb to put that seat down. So
I see some hazards in your relationship up ahead. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you should have called me a week ago. When we were having that discussion, which basically was me knocking on the door saying, let us back in. That was the discussion.
Well, this is Bob Smiley, fantastic comedian, and he travels. He's probably coming to a city near you, and if not, you could probably bring him in. Check him out over at his website, bobsmiley.com, right?
Yeah, and my wife is really, really funny, and so we actually just started a podcast called Hook, Line, and Smiley.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It is, we have always just laughed like crazy and talked about interesting topics. I'll actually tell you how it came about. I was on my bed, and I was playing solitaire, and she walked in to change the sheets and clean up a little bit. And as a joke, I said, you're really supposed to knock and say housekeeping first. And turns out she's not a fan of housekeeping jokes. And so I read the situation, and, so I reacted by putting the Jack of Hearts on the Queen of Spades. And this is when I thought, we've got to get her on a podcast, because she started, picking up stuff around the room. And she goes, Alexa, play He's a Real Nowhere Man by the Beatles. And then she followed it up with Taylor Swift, Should Have Said No. And I was like, is she Alexa fighting with me? And
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, I didn't either. And so I played, what did I play? Hard-Headed Woman by Cat Stevens. And she fired back with You're So Vain. And I was like, you are the one for me. We've got to get you on a podcast.
Well, this is Bob Smiley. Check out his brand new podcast with his brand new wife. And you can check that out on his website, bobsmiley.com. Bob, thanks for checking in. It's always great to catch up with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Welcome to our little world of a lot of laughs. A lot of laughs. The Daren Streblow Comedy Show.